How to be confident. So this is a trait that for sure helps guys out in being more attractive, and I think helps girls out if you're more confident. Not necessarily cocky or arrogant, but more confident in yourself. This is very important for guys, and the question is, how do you become more confident? So this is something that uh, some people think you can't fake it, and some people say fake it until you make it. And I think these things are true if you let your physiology uh, come first, your psychology will follow afterwards. This has been proven through um, experiments. So if you smile and start acting happy, it can start affecting you. And if you have confident body language, that will actually even affect the levels of hormones like testosterone and cortisol that you release if you do it for a while, as opposed to cowering or fearful body language. So I think it's many different variables. I just started this book called The Power of Positive Thinking. It's by Dr. Peel, and he wrote this book, and he found out these principles through trial and error. He tested different things. And he didn't intend the book to sell so well, but it did. It sold over 2 million copies and counting. And it's a book that he's just very happy because these principles have impacted a large amount of people. So I just started a book, and already it's talking about confidence. And it talks about a very relevant topic. If you want to achieve confidence, or if you do not have confidence, Dr. Peel says that one of the reasons may be because of a very negative, cyclic cycle of thinking that you have perpetuated versus a positive cycle. And how this works is that these negative thoughts will keep breeding more negative thoughts, and um, confidence usually comes from a level of positive thoughts that manifest itself over time. And how you present yourself and how you act is often a manifestation, according to him, of how you think, and that can affect you. And so he recommends a deliberate change in your routine on a daily basis. He says there's this one case where this guy uh, drove around town, and he spent a lot of time in his car, and he just naturally had a lot of negative thoughts about himself that um, ended up creating more negative thoughts like, oh, I'm not good enough, things aren't working out because of this. And that's what his mind would be filled with during his drive. So if this happens for hours, as you can imagine, just naturally, you are wasting your short time on this earth feeling crummy about yourself and almost doing it to yourself and perpetuating it and making it worse. So he recommends positive thinking. So what this man did was he started pulling out flashcards, and he used, in this example, very faith-based religious flashcards. And so he just kept reciting these very positive religious messages from the Bible. So that was one example of what could be done. And obviously, this has other implications. Uh, Surrounding yourself with positive people can definitely help you, because those around you oftentimes influence you much more than you think. And also, you have to maybe start seeing if you can change your environment. Sometimes you are just naturally, without you even thinking about it, maybe it's how you grew up, or whatever situation, you were placed in certain environments during your day-to-day time span that are not very conducive to positive thinking. In fact, there may even be environments where, based on the social situation, it's forcing you into very negative body language, um, such as body language that makes you hide yourself and take up as little space as possible. it's a very fearful body language pose that affects your hormones and your thinking as well. So this can be brought about, and it's happened to me in the past. It can just be certain social situations. Maybe it's the people, maybe it's the environment, and it may just not be a very healthy situation, and you just feel uncomfortable. No one's really being nice to you, and you're stuck in this situation, and you try and do anything, you try and consider anything out of it, but everything just puts you back into that state, and that will affect you. What I've learned though through my own observations and my own testing is that oftentimes you think that this is a situation that's horrific, and it's someone else's fault, or it's the environment, and it's so comfortable to put the blame somewhere else. But in reality, and I think this usually happens with people who may be similar to me, more so on the shy side, or a certain type of negative thinking side. It may be you, it may not. You can, if you just start trying different things, turns out these people are actually nice, and you're either deluding yourself, you're making it seem like it's bad when it's not really as bad as you think, and maybe it's partially caused by your shyness, and you kind of have to get over it, talk to other people, and so forth. Other times, you just have to move situations, move environments. Perhaps these aren't the best people, and the older you get, the more freedom you get to be able to change that. So if you're stuck in a really bad situation in middle school or high school, understand that that time will pass. And now, having said that, you have to make sure, because oftentimes there's a lot of cases, I believe, where you're kind of doing it to yourself, and you may be thinking, this is a horrible situation, they don't like me, they're not really extending their hand to me, and no one wants to talk to me, or whatever it is. And the environment may be actually what you're saying it is, and maybe it's not. But the point is, you want to test out things and try things, because you can find, if you push hard enough and go out of your comfort zone, that it was all in your head and none of this is taking place. And if you just stay in that zone, the environment and yourself are enforcing these negative thought patterns that will push you into bad states and bad behaviors. So that's all I really wanted to say about the topic. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy giving his opinion based off what I've been reading in this book. So I highly suggest you check out the book yourself. It's called The Power of Positive Thinking. And go ahead and leave a comment on your thoughts and your recommendations on books, articles, websites, videos that may be of use to me or anyone else watching this video. And so I do think, though, this is all just theory, and taking it for fact to too high extent could be a problem too. So take this advice with a grain of salt. And that's all I gotta say. And yeah, if you want a more credible source, I suggest you check out this book. I can't highly suggest it yet. I was about to, but I can't, because I haven't really even started reading it yet. It could be a completely crappy book, and just because it sold 2 million copies doesn't mean it's a great book. So let's see what happens, see if it's worth reading. And again, just because this guy's a doctor, you don't want to fall for the authority bias either. So that's all I want to say about that, and thanks for watching this video. As always, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next video.